Welcome to the 4 steps of muzzle training. There are always benefits when preparing your dog for something new, whether you'll end up needing it or not in the future. Here are 3 examples. First, you won't have to get into a fight with your dog if or when you need a muzzle. Another reason, which might be the most obvious and important reason, is if your dog is aggressive or bites out of fear. Teaching a dog with these kind of behaviors to put on a muzzle and be comfortable in it can be extremely helpful for you during tasks such as grooming, training, travel, or going to the vet. Lastly, it's always better to train for wearing a muzzle than be sorry you didn't later. We can't predict the future, and many of our dogs voice their insecurities, such as pain, with their teeth. So preparing can lessen stress and conflict during these uncertainties. To get started, grab your leash, your muzzle, and a whole bunch of treats. For this stage, I like to use my dog's meals because we will be using a lot of treats here. To get started in step 1, you're going to show your dog that you're filling his muzzle up with food, and allow him to eat that food out of that muzzle. You're going to do this for about 100 to 200 reps if possible. The more reps you can do at this stage, the better. We want your dog to look at the muzzle and think it's the greatest thing he's ever seen. Kind of like how your dog views his leash or his food bowl. For step 2, I normally switch to a higher value reward. In this case, I'm using hot dogs. At this point, your dog should be assuming that there will always be a treat inside the muzzle. So present the muzzle as usual and say muzzle. The moment your dog puts his nose inside the muzzle, mark it and reward it with a treat from your other hand. Do quick rewards like this until you start to notice your dog is doing it on command or beating you to it. Then you're going to start asking your dog to hold his nose inside the muzzle for about 2 to 3 seconds longer each time. You're going to keep doing this until you can get up to about a minute or longer. In step 3, we're going to start clasping the muzzle. There are 2 ways to go about doing this. The first way I like to use for dogs that have a bad association with the muzzle, and I just flip the strap over your dog's ears. The second way to go about doing this is to buckle or clasp it on as you normally would. Be sure to praise your dog once the muzzle is on by petting him and telling him he's being good. The final step of teaching your dog to wear a muzzle is teaching him to move while in the muzzle. To do this, first put a leash and the muzzle on your dog. Cup your hand under your dog's chin and use the leash to guide him forward. You're going to do this 1 step at a time until your dog is moving fluidly. With each step or few, make sure you take the muzzle off and reward your dog. You want to keep this a fun and engaging game for him. For best results, make sure you practice this in a variety of different situations, such as getting in and out of the car or going for a walk.